Wait, what are you doing? That's not Chaturanga.
Chatter what? Coach Zach here with Jen.
Hey guys.
And today we're talking about Chaturanga. Or, how some people say it, Chaturanga. But before we talk about Chaturangas, go ahead and check out that pinned comment down below. Get your very own free pair of Strong by Design, our very own sliders, along with my very own Slide Your Way to a Flat Stomach program, where you can get fit only with these. Pinned comment down below right now. Let's get it.
Okay, so today we're talking about how to properly do Chaturanga. Chaturanga is also known as staff pose. So we want to get, you think of a staff, it's straight, long, and that's what we want to feel. We want to feel a long spine and not dipping core or anything. So Zach is going to kind of show you as I talk what a proper Chaturanga, well-aligned Chaturanga is supposed to look like. He's starting in downward facing dog because a Chaturanga is part of what we call a vinyasa. So vinyasa, we start with your plank pose. He'll come into plank, inhale, and then when he's ready, he's going to exhale, and he's going to come forward. He's going to bring his shoulders in front of his wrists, come down just about halfway or a little bit more, and then inhale up into upward facing dog or a cobra pose. Okay? And then he'll exhale, roll over the toes, and he'll come back into downward facing dog. And that is your basic vinyasa. But we see a lot of different things happening with Chaturangas as teachers, right? So we'll see elbows splaying out. We'll see lots of misalignment in the shoulders.
Shoulders dipping down.
Yes.
Yeah. So Chaturanga is actually, I would consider it more of an intermediate move. Now it's in all the basic yoga classes, but it's definitely tough, right? If you can't do a solid push-up, which is actually easier than Chaturanga because push-ups you can let the elbows flare out a little bit.
Right.
Chaturanga, I mean, the first step before you even start to bend is to externally rotate. Right? You want the creases of the elbows facing forward. That way when you bend your elbows, the elbows go back and not out to the side.
Yes, yes.
So Chaturanga is not that easy. It takes some upper body strength, and problem is that it's just in every basic yoga class. So people doing it who really don't have the strength to do it can eventually hurt themselves.
Right.
So when first practicing Chaturanga and when you're trying to get it, it's simple. Set your knees down, right? Don't try to be a superhero when you're first starting out. So first step, coming into plank, right? Stacking wrists over shoulders. Yoga's all about alignment. And again, first step, externally rotate. So creases of the elbows facing forward. Now look at my hands when I do that. This is a tendency. When you do that, it kind of brings up these knuckles. So what you want to do is, you want to find that external rotation, but you want to spread through the fingers and make sure all the mounds of the knuckles are down. So it's this position here. So again, you're in that plank, externally rotate, and then scoot forward. So try to bring your shoulders over your wrists, and then set your knees down, and then come down, hugging your elbows towards your ribs. Right? You can even do a couple reps of that just to get that feeling, right? This is not like a basic push-up. I'm actually really trying to bring my elbows towards my torso, and then from there, what you can do is lift your heart, and then that will take you into upward facing dog. But right now, we're just talking about Chaturanga.
Okay, so another way to help modify your Chaturangas as you begin to strengthen would be with the blocks. So with this one, I want to place the blocks just about shoulder distance apart, and I want to put my thumbs behind the blocks. And again, you're going to experience that external rotation of the biceps, right? So you want to do that and step back and plank. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to come forward. The shoulders, even, we want to work on them coming a little bit in front of the wrist. So that's wrist mobility too. We could do some wrist stretches for that. And then you're going to come down, and you're going to lay your shoulders on the blocks. And so you can kind of get a little bit fun with this one too, a little funky, and come up and down, little shoulder taps, works well. Okay, and so it's just a way for you to check your alignment and to know that you're doing a chaturanga in a safe way.
Actually, do it one more time because you'll see with the blocks.
Yes.
Do it with
Okay,
the
so I'll
block.
do it again.
You'll see the blocks stop you, and for most people, at the perfect time. So go down and then stop at the blocks.
Yep.
Now, her shoulders are dipping down a little bit under the elbows, but it's not bad. So I still consider this good alignment. But what the blocks will do will stop your shoulders from going way too far down. You want this line to be as parallel as possible. It doesn't have to be completely parallel, but what you don't want is an angle like this. You want it to be as straight of a line as possible. That way you're not putting too much stress into the shoulder joint.
Definitely. And so, do you want to show maybe just a couple exercises or anything with that, or let's?
The isometric holds are great. So it's where you come down, right? It's all about practicing how it feels because it's a little bit different than a push-up. You really got to get used to hugging your elbows towards your torso. So come forward, come down, and then breathe. You see I'm not leaning forward. That's a big mistake. I'm right here. I'm breathing. And you can push up, relax. Another thing I like to do with Chaturanga or in the beginning of any yoga class is warm up the wrists, right?
Yes.
Do some wrist circles, do some wrist mobility drills.
Sometimes I'll do this before, like if you have really tight wrists, you might want to go here first, fingers facing out, and then what he just did, this is great, once you warm up the wrists a little bit more, but yeah, I love both of those.
Yeah.
So one other thing I want to add is that we can use just one block if you're having trouble with dipping heart when you come down into your Chaturanga. You can be aware of it by placing the one block down, and when your chest grazes the block, you'll know that you're in correct position still. You're still in that staff pose, the long, straight position. So we'll kind of just do this. So you're gonna go forward, come down, okay? And I'm here, and I can come back up and play with it a little bit, just to get that alignment in correctly. So you start to feel it, and then you'll move into that flow naturally when you go to do your vinyasa.
Yeah. Don't be scared to set the knees down.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
Even when at the end of a yoga class, when you're already tired or it's a hot class, set the knees down. Don't risk yourself. I think Chaturanga, I mean, out of all the basic, and I would consider it basic.
Yeah.
Out of all the basic postures, I would say that this is probably the one that hurts people the most.
Yes, definitely.
Especially if you don't have that upper body strength. Like you will rely on your joints, and over time, you will injure yourself.
So work towards it.
Work
Slow.
towards it. Set the knees down. Do some knee chaturangas where you're getting the reps in and you're hugging the elbows towards the ribs and you're feeling how that feels. If you're not used to it and you externally rotate, this is gonna happen with the hands. So there's actually two things going on with that external rotation. Not only are you externally rotating the humerus, so the humerus is going this way, but the radius and the ulna, the bones of the lower arm, are internally rotating. So it's subtle, right? External, internal.
Yes, and providing that pressure on the carpal area is what is counterbalancing what he's talking about, that internal rotation down below.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that the J of the hand is down on the ground, right? You're not like this. This right here, you're putting all this pressure on the outside of the hand. You want that J, and you want every finger and every bone of the hand supporting you. So here, not here, not here, here. Chaturanga. Yeah. Wait, before you go.
Oh yeah. Check out that pinned comment below and get yourself some sliders. Chaturanga.
Yeah.